So, Florida couple tries to lure a 9-year-old girl into a van, police say. This caught my attention because immediately I read this headline and I was like, okay, so clearly they didn't succeed, all right? I mean, you can tell based on the headline they didn't succeed. So then I started thinking, how harsh are the charges for attempted kidnap? Because you don't know what could have happened. You don't know if they were going to SA this child, if they were going to end this child, if they were going to sell this child, if they were going to try and keep this child and raise it. So immediately I was like, what is this story and what is the charges behind this? What is the accountability? What does the sentence look like, you know? So in Hollywood, Florida, a Florida couple has been arrested after they tried to lure a 9-year-old girl playing in her front yard into their van. Like, a van. Come on.
Could you be any more cliche?
Right. Jeez. Michael Diaz, 34, and Tayana, Taiana Tersano, 31, were both arrested after the incident that unfolded on McKinley Street in Hollywood on November 3rd, according to an arrest affidavit from the Hollywood Police Department. Shortly before 4:30 p.m., a woman called 911 saying a van occupied by a man, woman, and small child. Yeah. Tried to lure her 9-year-old daughter into the van, the affidavit said. The girl, under the supervision of her mom's boyfriend, was playing in the front yard when the van pulled up. And essentially, this is how it went down. Okay. The kid's playing in the front yard. The mom is inside. The birth mother of the daughter is inside doing dishes, I think is what it said. And the boyfriend's out there doing something. I don't know if he was like working on a car or something, but like she was being watched out there, you know, and this couple pulls up. I don't know if the boyfriend's just out of like eyesight, line of sight or something. And the woman in the passenger side says, hey, come here, and starts trying to sweet talk this girl to get her to come over there. And the simultaneously, the mom hears what's going on because the lady starts yelling at the little girl to come here and opens up the sliding door. So the boyfriend goes out there, gets in between her, the one trying to abduct the girl, and the 9-year-old, and is trying to, like, it sounds like he was being nice, like, I don't know what's going on, but you need to get out of here, you know? And she starts escalating and telling the guy that I am going to end you if you don't get out of my way. We're taking her. Is that not an absurd scene? When an adult has gotten involved,
Normally they run.
Yeah, they're still pursuing this girl. It makes me wonder why. Why was this one girl so important? And the guy can be heard in the van yelling, just grab the effing child, let's go. And she's yelling, get out of my way. If you don't get out of my way now, we're coming back and we're ending all of you. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So what's even crazier is he gets her to leave. So she tries to walk past him, the boyfriend, and the boyfriend sticks up his arm or something with his body, and it hits her in the nose. And she, like, everyone knows what it feels like hitting the nose. So she gets back in the van and drives away. And they come back to try it again.
When?
The same day, the same time, it's like they went around the block and came back. Yeah.
So did the mom already call police?
The mom already called the police. The police were already en route. They were gone. It doesn't talk about how the scenario went the second time, but maybe the girl was already inside or they were all out there at that time on the phone. I don't know, but it does say they went back. But police ended up picking them up at a nearby CVS and arresting them, which, good, amazing. And they got charged for child enticement. Okay, so they're both facing multiple charges, including luring and enticing a child. And this is horrible. They were both released after posting a $30,000 bond. Yeah. if I was that...
That is a fail. These are the things that really
Agreed.
bother me about the justice system, is when people are showing that they are willing to harm a child, abduct them from their family, which is harming them, they should not be able to just get out on bail so that
or
they can go do
life, too.
Yeah.
Like, taking the child thing out of it, which I don't think you can do, but, I mean, anytime someone threatens another person's life, how are the cops going to make sure they aren't going to come back and she's actually going to do what she was threatening?
I had a situation
You know
like
what
that.
I mean?
Yeah, where this guy brought a gun and tried to shoot one of my friends, and they let him out on bond within a couple hours.
Yeah.
And he was right back there again, and then he did it again, and then he got arrested, and then they let him out again a few hours later.
It is insane. But I did do a little bit of research here. This happened in Florida, so the laws are a little bit different. But so I just stuck with the federal law because for the most part, it looks like they semi-follow that. But for child enticement charge for any child under 18, the penalty is a mandatory minimum of 10 years, which that's good. I read that. I was like, okay, that's awesome. Assuming they have multiple charges here, and in this charge, it can be increased, not reduced, but increased if there is any history of other charges.
That's good and all, but they shouldn't be on the streets where they can evade going to court and carry out their plan.
No, I agree. The bond is a different story. The charges and the sentencing, I was content with. 10 years minimum? Okay, that's only one of those charges. Not to mention they're going to have a kicker here, which is more than likely going to put them at 15 or 20 years for trying to take a child, which, good, great. That's what we want to see. But that $30,000 bond, I agree. I think if we're going to let people out in a situation like this after they've threatened lives or after they've tried to take a kid, which could potentially be threatening a life, they should have to see a therapist. They should have to something like something.
They shouldn't be let out on bond, and if they are, they better have monitors on them. Like, they better have something that is tracking them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah.
But I want to know what's up with the child they already had in the van.
So one of the stipulations to being let out was that they were told that they had to avoid any contact with minors, including the victim and their child.
Their own child?
Their own child.
So where is their... So that child was theirs.
You can only assume it's going to CPS.
That child was theirs.
Yep.
Okay. And
yep, according to this. So, but... Again, that is risky. They just tried pulling something absolutely insane that not an average person would do. So to let them out and just think they're going to follow the law, I agree. That's a big risk and very little payoff. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. I don't think that should have been allowed. I feel like there should be some more stipulations behind it. Seeing a therapist to understand whether that was an in-the-moment threat and there is continued threat there. One of those therapists that are specifically looking for somebody that's trying to manipulate them or lie or whatever. There are people out there, therapists, that can see that, If there's any continued threat, I don't think they should have been let out. But
Agreed.
I'm curious what you think.
I mean, I don't think they should have been let out at all, but
yeah.
That's just me.